Recording too as well. Yeah. So when we are doing a particular session, at what time to what time that we were going for this session, how many attendees are there actually? So what is the topic that we have discussed? It. This is the data actually. This is for today's information. But if you go for like 1 year, 365 days in which day what you have done, how much time you have spent for the training, how much time for you have spent for the other options and all, this is all becomes the data only. So a simple thing as like we're all using a smartwatches and all. So the amount it is when you're walking, running, drinking, your oxygen reach, your stress levels, these are all nothing but the data. It is just being stored over there. So what we do is like as a simple reporting tool option, I can tell you that when you are using your smartwatches, you're just going into your mobile applications and then you are checking yesterday how many steps that I have done, and today how many steps till now I have, and what is my goal, how many are remaining, and how many when compared with the other people, how is my sleep rate today, is it like 70% or an 80%, and when compared with the last 30 days, how is my sleep rate, whether I have slept much today or less today when compared with the last 30 days. So this is all nothing but your data. When you collect the data, that you can able to make the visuals available to the front end, and then we can able to display. So here, if you say in the data engineering, there are two words. One is a front end support and the second one is a back end support. So what do you mean by a backend? Backend is a pure uh, coding thing where people will generate the codes and then they will provide the necessary data for you in a clear format. Where what is a front end is like you will take the clear format data as an input and then you can start building the visuals as how the user would like to read it. Okay. So if I just wanted to say that the PSS sales for this particular year was something like, okay, either it is increasing or decreasing when compared to the last 10 years. That's of your choice that how you are going to build it. Are going to build a bar chart, or you're going to build a line chart, okay, or you're going to make it as a dynamic one based upon the selections and all. It's all visuals that you can able to do it in a detailed manner. Okay. And this particular visual, suppose if you do a presentation for CAE, what will happen if there is any change in the design? Again, you have to redo this particular presentation, that you have to capture the images again, and then you have to place it over here. But here, when you develop a Power BI report, when the data changes at the back end, you no need to change anything. Automatically, everything will get updated as long as the column names are same for it. Okay. Let's quickly share my screen actually. Let me know if you all can see my screen too as well.
Yeah, no, we can able to see.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. So here actually what I do, there is this is the problem with Zoom. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let me go over here. I have some number of an Excel files and all. If you say this actually, here I have like some 20, 30 Excel files are there. I would like to read this 20, 30 Excel files in a simplified way. Your Power BI will help you out on this. Or else you have some millions of records, lakhs and millions of records. I would like to understand from this millions of records whether I'm in a profit zone or a loss zone when compared to your sales. So this Power BI will help you out on this. Keep it in mind, Power BI is a little advanced tool of an Excel sheet only. A little advanced tool of an Excel sheet actually. Okay. So what you can do is like, if you would like to install the Power BI actually, so it's as simple as that. Like you can just go to any of this Microsoft things, or like you can simply put like download Power BI. If you just click on this particular download Power BI, then go to this download and then you can able to download this. Okay, if you're using Windows 11 or something, directly into the Play Store itself, you can go and then you can able to Google Play Store, you can go and then you can able to download this particular Power BI. Okay, so when you just go for this particular Power BI, there is an option actually. Yeah, that is what I will show this. Okay. So when you're just talking about this Power BI, so we were talking about this particular Power BI. When you talk about this particular Power BI, there is a particular options that we have it. So Power BI is segregated into a different types actually. So one, it is like Power BI desktop. So one, it is a Power BI desktop, and the second one actually we are calling it as a Power BI workspace. We are calling it as a Power BI workspace. And the next one that we are going to call it as a Power BI mobile applications. Okay, you're free to install a Power BI mobile applications through your app store or to the Play Store. We can go and we can able to install it. And if you have like a user ID and then the password, so you can able to log in there and you can able to check what is happening over there, everything that you can able to see it there. Okay, so this is what actually the Power BI will have like a three different varieties. So out of the three different varieties, if you would like to do any kind of a development, all the developments can be done in Power BI desktop. And once the development is completed, then it will be posted into the workspace. And once it is posted into the workspace, and if you would like to visualize in the mobile thing also, you can able to visualize it in the mobile too as well. So this is a developers can access this users, these two, the users can access of this particular thing. So first we will discuss about this. What is the desktop version and what exactly it will do. To download this particular desktop version, you can just go over here and then you can go here, Microsoft Power BI desktop, or you have like a Microsoft Power BI mobile. Okay. The gateways and all is a little complicated topic. I will come to you a little later, but right now you can able to build on this. And then we have a one more option that's called as an, I told you, right, the web space actually. So the web space, if you would like to go, we have to type it something like app.powerbi.com. If you just type this app.powerbi.com, then it will route you to the Power BI workspaces actually. Now you can see this automatically the Power BI symbol, everything is coming. And now it will ask you for this particular thing. Okay. So as I was already joined here, so I do have some certain visuals over there. And this is my Power BI workspace, I can say this. So this is where if you would like to go over here, you can say a text actually. There's nothing but app.powerbi.com. If you just type this app.powerbi.com, then it will directly take you to that particular place. Okay. App.powerbi.com. And if you would like to go for this, any kind of installation, if you would like to go for any kind of an installation, and this is the link in the downloads that it can be that it can be helpful for you to install this particular thing. This will be helpful for you to install it. In the similar way, actually, the mobile application, but right now, don't worry about the mobile applications. We will discuss these things and then we will come to that and slowly. Yeah. How frequently this desktop versions are? Because we know that when we are using a particular software, like for example, that we are using an Abacus itself, in for the Abacus, that every time or every year that we have a release, and in between the releases that we have like a hot fixes too as well. Okay, so based upon the requirements, based upon the options that we needed, we will try to upgrade the software and then we will try to consume that particular thing somewhere. So similar way here also, um, this particular software, it will update monthly basis. It will update on a monthly basis and all. So you can able to see these particular things, how frequently it is getting updated. So the desktop portion will be updated on monthly and all. So if you just go to any Google things also, like if you just simply type like Power BI updates on April 2023, if you just type this particular things, then Power BI 2023 feature summary of Microsoft Power BI desktops and all. You can able to get these particular things. So what they have done, what is the important features they have developed it over here, everything that you can able to get it over here, and you can able to see a video also. This is like a small portion that you can able to learn in a more effective way. In a month, if you spend some half an hour to 45 minutes on your learnings for this particular things, you can start reading this particular video. By end of this particular month, you can able to learn this. So similarly, you can see this on the May 2023, what I would like to say. So you can just go and click on this one. So it's a May 2023, and this is what actually I can able to see this one. Let me transfer. So you can see this one. So on the May 2023, so whatever the things that they have announced here, you can able to see that particular announcements over there. So I recommend you to follow the links because there is an update yesterday actually. The way you can able to see that when you are opening up this particular links and all, you can able to see that directly. So follow these particular links so that you can able to see these particular things and all. Not only this, on to the May, I can say that here you can able to see this items by date, and if you would like to see features wise, anything that you go, start reading something, no issues at all, but start reading something so that you will try to understand a few topics at least. And there are a couple of videos also, couple of videos. When you just go for the YouTube, I'm just giving you all these hints before starting up to the sessions, because if you follow these particular things, you will get a better idea too as well. What is that? Sorry. You'll get a better idea too as well. Guy in a cube for Power BI. If you follow this particular guide, if you follow these particular things, then automatically you can able to get some of the more advanced topics, and whatever the releases in the month also with the particular examples that these guys can be doing it. So this is one of the best one that I'm following it. But if you found something else, that's also fine. So you can also start following those things. But this guy has given a good introduction to and all the things. So that's why I'm following this. Okay. Now you got to know how to install it. It's as simple as next only. In the installation, there is no difficult tasks, and you know where to download it actually. And after doing all these things, if you would like to open the Power BI, you just simply type it as like a Power BI, then automatically you'll get an option called as a Power BI desktop. So if you just click on this Power BI desktop, for the very first time that when you're opening it in a day, or like after a few days when you are opening this particular Power BI, it will take some time actually. It will take some time to open this. Don't worry. Sometimes you are not going to get this particular icon also. Make sure that wait for some time. So this will take some time to load up this particular thing. And now this is how actually the Power BI page it looks. And if you see these things, guys, now here also you can able to see this. Getting started with Power BI, you have a training sessions. You can happy to go to these particular videos, all these things. And what's new actually, as I told you that whatever we are seeing it, you can able to see that. And if you have like a forums also, like when you are doing something at Power BI that you got it out, you go to these particular forums and put your questions over there. So all the experts will start replying to that particular questions and all. And there is a Power BI blogs also. Maybe you can start reading this. And if you're comfortable to learn on yourself, there is a tutorials too as well. So you can just go through all these particular things and all. Okay. So the similar options only we are going to cover up to over here too as well. So you can just close this. Whenever you open a Power BI, automatically it's going to come it over there. And now here it will show you that what is the login that you have used it to log in into your Power BI applications and all. So what was the login with your name, other things and all. If you click over here, you can able to sign out, and if you would like to log in it again, you can able to log in over there. This is a Power BI window, I can say this. Power BI desktop version window. Okay. So this is where like all the different tools that you have it, and this is the main tool page you have it. The very important thing that you have to remember here is like this is called as a report view, and this is called as a data view, and this is called as a model view. Okay. Three things that you have to remember that. So people, when you are interacting with the people, or like when you are doing some projects, people will ask you like, can you go to the report view? Can you go to the data view? Can you go to the model view? And all. Okay. So remember this. These are the three important things that you need to remember. So now you have a report view and you have a model view, but you can't see the data view. In that particular cases, actually, when you open any Power BI file, if you don't see the data view, you can see only the report view and you can see only the model view. And that particular Power BI files are called as a decoupled models. Okay, that particular Power BI files are called as a decoupled models. When you see all the three, then you can say it's like a coupled model, a decoupled model, and then that's a coupled model actually. So what do you mean by this? I will just come here. So when you just go for this, so you have something like this. So here, this is the first one is nothing but here report view. So whenever you would like to see any kind of a report or the visuals, the beautiful images that you see, right? So those are all the things available right over here actually. So that's why we call this as a, we call that as a report view. And below that particular report view, whatever you see, this we are going to call it as a data view. And then whatever you can see it over here at the bottom. So this particular thing that we are going to call it as a model view. Okay, so what is a report view? What is a data view? What is a model view? We are slowly going to come to that particular point. But right now, the report view that we can able to see the beautiful images. In the data view that we can able to see the data. In the model view, I can able to see the relation between the tables actually. So what you can see here, in the report view, you can see visuals. You can see the visuals. So don't go to a data view and don't try to look for the visuals over there. Okay, you can't see it. Yeah, you can't see that over there. So what you can do in the data view, you can see the data, whereas on the model view actually, relation between tables. That means you are dealing with some 5 different Excel files. What is the relation between Excel 1 and Excel 2? Or you are dealing with some CSV files. What is the relation between Excel CSV 1 and CSV 2? Or you are dealing with the one Excel and one CSV. What is the relation between them? So that relations are going to tell based upon this one. So that's why we are calling it as a model view actually. Okay. So this is very, very important. In case that if you don't see this particular things, suppose if you don't see these particular if you don't see this particular data view, I mean, if you don't see this particular data view, if the data view is then eliminated from there, then actually what is that particular thing? That particular model that we were going to call this as a decouple model. So don't be get scared why the data I can't see that and all. So that particular model we are going to call it as a decoupled model. When you don't see the data, then that particular thing that we are going to call it as a decoupled model. Yeah. So now you got a chance to open this particular Power BI desktop, and now how I can able to read the files, how I can able to bring the files over here. See, it's not a simple tool that where you can able to read only the Excels or CSVs. It is a very, very highly advanced tool, which it is capability of reading each and everything, wherever the data it is there, it can able to read it actually. So what are the best possible ways that it can able to read the data? It is where like when you just go for this, here you have an option called as an get data. This might be a one of our interview questions actually. So how do you connect your cloud storage to your Power BI? So that you should be unable to answer it. Or how do you read and simple CSV file? If you are a fresher, they will ask you these questions. So here we have an option called as in get data. So once if you click on this get data, these are all the options that we have it. These are all the options that we have it actually. So if you are working with a simple Excel workbook, that you can go over here. Or if you're working with some CSV or the text files, you can go over here. Or if you're working with the web pages, you can go. Or if you're working with some data which is available in the SharePoint, you can go. Okay, so or if you are working with some data sets, you can go further. So what is the data set and all? I'll tell you in the coming classes. So once if you click more over here, it will show you all the options. When you click on the more, it will take a while. It will take a while to open it. Okay, so now it's got open. Now you can see this all file databases. Suppose you are working on with Amazon S3. So you can just put it as like Amazon. So Amazon Redshift you are working, or Amazon Athena you are working, or Amazon Open Service Beta you are working. Okay, you can able to see this one. Or like there is some options like when you are working with, okay, when you're working with some S3 buckets, Amazon Redshift will help you out on this. Suppose if you are working with some Azure accounts, so you have a direct thing over here, like click on Azure, and then you can able to select whatever the options it is there. I will teach you out because presently at the live, I'm working with an Azure Data Storage Gen 2. I will completely teach you the full end-to-end connections between these things and all. Okay. For today, to make you more comfortable, actually what we do, we will just try to read some simple Excel files and all. Okay. Some simple CSV file, Excel files that we will read it. Now, I just clicked on this CSV file. Now, when I just go inside to this PC, I have some data. So here in this particular data, whatever the CSV files I can name, I can able to read those particular CSV files. So activity limitations, total responses in 2018 Sensex that I'm going to read this. And so just open this particular file. So now once if you open this, it will try to read all the information over there. Okay. So when you click on one particular file, now you can see this. This is where actually it is going to come. And here the data type, it detected the data type too as well based upon the first 200 rows. Based upon the entire data set that if you would like to detect, that's your option. You can choose this. That means first thing is like what is meant by a data type? What is meant by a data type actually? Okay. So when you just talk about what is meant by a data type, I'm just taking up this particular things as a sample. And you just go over here to this particular data. And now here actually when you just go for this particular things and all. when I just go for these particular things, the code number is always an integer number. It's a ID number, so that I can just call it as an int. So this is my integer. Code is always my integer. Now activity limitations. It's a something like they're typing something. It's a name over there. So I'm going to call this particular things as a string. This is nothing but. So next you are going for the seeing this. If you look into this, these are all like a numbers only. You can able to see that. So similarly, I could able to guess this. This is also nothing but my integers. And here this is also again as a integer. I can see all these things are like an integers. How do I define this? So first of all, when you open a particular file, it is going to detect it automatically. Let it detect it. And what is the delimiter? It's a comma of a CSV file. It's a default one. But if you have something other things like a spaces or a tab or anything, that you can able to choose this. Comma is the same thing. And this is the data that I have it. Now you have two different options over here. One is a load. Load actually what it will do is like it simply load the data into the Power BI. Transform the data is something like after the loading, immediately you want to do some kind of an operations on it. Like you would like to rename some columns, or you would like to make this as an order actually. Okay. Or like unnecessary some column names are there, which I would like to eliminate those particular column names. So those kind of things that I would like to handle it. So in that particular cases, this particular so on those particular cases, normally this particular transform data will happen. Don't worry if you click on the load. Again, if you would like to go for a transform data also, that is all possible. Or if you directly click on the transform data also, that is also fine. But I always recommend that click on the load. If the data is loading properly, then we can start doing any changes over there. Now, once if I click on this actually, so now it's all like reading this particular information. So activity limitations of a total response 2018. So 8 rows has been loaded over there. Okay. Now you can see this one. Once this particular visual it has been loaded in the data, that particular table it is coming over here. And if you expand this, these are all the columns that we can able to see this. And if you would like to see the data, because as I already told you, right? So when you just go for this particular things, the report data will help you to see the visuals, but the data view will help you to can see the data actually. So that's why I'm in the report view now. You can see this particular bar indicates that in which view you are there. And if you just click on the data view, so this is how actually you can, it will take you to this particular data. Now, once you click on the data view, actually, you can see this. This is what is the data. It can able to do these things. Okay. And now actually I've just clicked on this particular thing. Now you can see these things automatically. I suggested to fix this particular data type. So if you just click on this column, you can see the column name, that if you would like to change this as a column name, that you can change this. And the date type actually, date type is a text and the format is a text format. It has been selected. Why? Because it's selected as a text format. Here, if you see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I have. But at the end, I have a total slated and as well as a total values. So there is a string is also coming over here. That's why it is detecting automatically. It is detecting as a text format. Suppose if you would like to remove these particular things, like you would like to consider only the numbers and you don't want to, you want to remove these particular things like a total slated and total, all these things. Any changes that if you would like to do this. So if you want to perform any kind of a changes, go to the home tab. Okay, go to the home tab. What I did, I just go for the simple data view. And then I'm just going for the home tab. And here you have an option called as a transform data, where at the beginning, when I load a file, there you have seen load and transform data option is also there. There I have just simply loaded it. But now if I would like to do some kind of a transformations on it, transformations is nothing but we are changing its shape. You are changing the data shape, you are changing it. So, wait, transform data, if you click on the transform data, there is an options for you actually, the transform data and the data source settings actually. Okay, so today I will let you know about this data source settings. It's a very simple option. So that's why we can cover it in 1 or 2 minutes. If you click on this particular data source settings, then it will show you this. I have collected this particular file from E drive. Power BI is a folder name. Inside the data, inside that activity limitations or response.csv file is a file name. If I would like to change the source, we can click on the change source, and then you can able to change the path over here. So whatever the path that if you want it, you can able to change the path, and then you can able to recommend to this new particular file also. Okay. So this is how, when you would like to change the data source settings from where actually the file is coming, and if you would like to change the path of that particular file, transform data and data source settings will be helpful for you. So what is the use of a data source settings? It is something like